What was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. It's the Weird and Whatever podcast, and let's just get right into it. Happy National American Teddy Bear Day.
Oh, I didn't even get the memo.
I mean, we're really reaching. I like to always open the Weird and Whatever with a shitty holiday that nobody gives a flying fudge about. But I do ask the question, when you were a little kid, did you have a teddy bear or a stuffed animal you would lay with? And at what age did you stop doing that?
So I was kind of weird. I didn't have one, but my brother had his bunny all the way, up until high school.
Really? He'd bring that to high school?
He slept with it all the way up till high school, and then I think he put it in a box and retired it.
I don't know, Vicky. I don't know if that's kind of cool. Denny's doxing his brother.
I mean, I had a teddy bear that just stayed on my bed all through high school, but I didn't cuddle it. But my daughter, she's 24. I'll call her out. She's 24. She has to hug some kind of stuffed animal. It keeps her from having nightmares.
You ever hear of a whoopee?
Yeah, I've heard the term, but
A blanket.
Isn't that a blanket that's kind of your friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a pound puppy. Sparky. No big deal, Denny's. But, happy National American Teddy Bear Day. Beckett is running late, so when he gets in here, we all got to give him some shit.
In case anyone was wondering, if you're looking at the screen, if you're watching, you can see that there's an empty spot. He's going to come in too hot with his laugh, and I'm not going to have time to adjust anything.
Vicky will be in the middle of a story.
I'm waiting for it, though.
There's going to trip over. There's so many booby traps in this room right now.
Well, so that's the bummer, too, because we all kind of get in position before, so he's going to come in, and he's not in position, so we're all going to have to accommodate.
But I do want to thank everybody for joining the Weird and Whatever podcast on this lovely Thursday night. Timestamp in case you're hearing this broadcast centuries from now.
Yeah, I'm renaming it. When I fired it up, I erased the title, so it comes up as default stream.
Yeah,
so
people definitely let you know about that. Oh, Denny's, get the title wrong.
I'm changing it. When I hit the button, my pinky hit the delete button, and then it automatically auto-named it.
Timestamp 11/14/24. Vicky, you did a walk through my house, and for anyone who's new listening, you are a psychic medium. You're in charge of your own ghost investigation team, where you go out and investigate haunts. I have been sleeping in a different area.
Yes.
I had you walk through that area to see if you felt any kind of different entities. Something odd has been going on with me, and I wanted to see and get your thoughts.
Okay, the first thing I came across is right in the doorway. There was what I would call a guardian, not a good guardian, though. Not like a guardian angel kind of energy. It was more of a malicious type guardian. Who is kind of controlling what goes in and out.
That's what you want to hear, right, when you move to a different room in your house.
Well, shit, happy Thanksgiving, bird.
So why would you use the term guardian then?
That's just the term that popped in my head as I walk through this thing. And there's a lot of guardians that we have. A lot of people may think that they're derivative of a nature spirit.
Oh,
but this was a big one.
Oh, look at that. Look who decided to fucking show up for class. That's Vicky's telling her story.
Do I get an F?
You called it.
You called it. As Vicky was telling a story, he would enter.
Oh, hold on. Let me just move something. Beckett's fucking up the backdrop. All right.
It's par for the course.
Right. As you were, Vicky, you were walking through my room.
Right. So I got that at the doorway. And then when I went into the room, overwhelming anxiety. It was off the charts. But I pick up on the living and spirit energy, so...
Well, the new type of thing that's been happening to me is I've been waking up. I've been going to sleep, but I've been waking up with something tickling my feet. I call it the tickler.
Sounds amazing.
Okay.
I don't like to be tickled.
I love to be tickled.
I love to be rubbed.
you really?
I love to be rubbed. I don't like to be tickled. There's a big difference.
I like to be scratched.
But, Vicky... can you explain, is there a difference between changing up a room where you sleep at, where you would get a different kind of energy? I went from the living room to the bedroom. Did that change up the energy?
It seems to have changed it up. And what I find interesting is that guardian. and why it is at the door. So I don't know if it somehow was you had easier access to you when you were in the bigger room, but now somehow the guardian can kind of control more who comes in and out.
Is the guardian the tickler?
No.
The tickler's someone else. We got
Yes.
The
like a
guardian sounds serious, not like
Yeah.
he's gonna be tickling.
Yeah, no, he's just controlling. I say he. That doesn't mean that it necessarily has a gender. It's just they look masculine. No, he's just controlling who comes in and out. Now, one thing I would suggest is if you wanted to reduce a little bit of the activity in there, you need to turn off the bubbling water.
Really? So you think
Yes.
the water is calling them?
Well, it's a lot of people believe it's a conduit. It's running water, so it's going to give them more energy. It also creates a little bit of white noise in the background. So honestly, if you really want to sleep better, I'd try. That's the first thing I do is unplug that.
Oh, you love that thing.
That's what I put it in there for peace and tranquility, Denny.
Yeah.
And now you got a guardian.
I can't make a right move. I buy a fountain and I get an evil guardian. You've never used the term guardian since I've known you. It's odd that you're using it. To Denny's point,
Yeah.
it makes me feel a little uneasy.
No, it's literally sometimes this is. I think I've only come across a guardian maybe once on an investigation, and because that's the first word that popped in, that's how I identify. And I walked right through it. It allowed me to walk through it. It didn't give me too much resistance when I walked through it, but yeah, I mean, it's I would classify it as a guardian.
So to catch Beckett up to speed, Vicky did a walkthrough real quick of Bird's room. He relocated sleeping into another room. And he redressed that room. It looks great right now. He redid his closet. You got to check it out after the show. But it's super tranquil, and he's got a fountain in there now.
Denny's, I'm not comfortable with you inviting Becca to my bedroom.
There's a lot of skeletons in those classes.
I'm just catching him up so he knows what we're talking about.
But yeah, so guardian. Give us the difference between a good guardian and a bad guardian.
Well, I think a good guardian would be somebody that is either like a loved one that's watching over you or what people call guardian angel kind
Yeah.
of thing, energy, as opposed to this thing. This thing definitely has like a nature spirit kind of base. You could tell that it's extremely old. It's very tough. I mean, it's not going to let anything in that it doesn't want to let in.
It's tough. It's a bouncer. Even
Yeah.
in the paranormal world, bouncers are pricks.
So is it inviting malicious spirits and then keeping them in there and blocking good spirits, or is it?
I would say it's in charge of who's going to go in there and mess with him.
So it let the it let the tickler in there. The tickler.
Let's put
It's
it
like
this
a
way.
ghost pimp. It's like
Yeah. The tickler wouldn't have got past the guardian if the guardian had not wanted it.
So you think guardian was there first, and then he let tickler in there?
Yeah.
Well, we got guardian, we got tickler, we've got.
or you're gonna get the fondler next, probably.
I mean, I don't know. All right. Well, we've got guardians now, Denny's.
Yeah,
I guess
like
half creature, half I don't know.
So it's probably just an old entity, a commanding presence,
Right.
and it kind of, I guess, in its ghostly world possesses authority of some sort.
Yeah, just like you have people here that you're afraid of and that you're not going to cross. Same thing happens on the other side.
Sounds like a John Wayne personality, right? Just kind of like tough guy.
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
a straight Charles Bronson.
Would you? I wouldn't. That's not the vibe I'm getting from a Vicky.
No.
I'm getting a different kind of like.
No, I'm thinking
like a
like
Sith Lord type of shit.
what movie is it where the entity is like in the long black jacket with the hat?
Oh, Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Candyman.
Yeah. No,
Or it could
Jeepers
be
Creepers.
Candyman
Oh,
as well.
that's
Yeah.
that's comforting. Jeepers Creepers. You
Well-
shitting me?
Well, you're asking for a visual. I'm giving you a visual.
The first half of that movie is so creepy.
I don't know. I'm torn, Vicky. Some days I'd like to do a cleansing, but I want to keep the cool spirits here. Is that
Well, no.
not? Is that not how it works?
No, yeah. If we do a cleansing, we're going to be very specific about. We ask anybody that is a good spirit that's there for protection or family or whatever. We ask them to leave voluntarily before we begin the cleansing, so that they're not involved. Because if the cleansing is successful, everybody gets kicked out. If you ask your protection to step out first, they can re-enter after the cleansing.
Now, how do we make sure they come back? Because I don't want them to leave.
They will. I mean, the good spirits are around regardless, so they'll come back.
All right. I mean, do we want to try to capture this? Do we want to try to capture this madness, this insanity on camera before we try to do this?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we could get the Guardian.
oh, we can't.
It wouldn't surprise me.
We can't cleanse this yet, Beckett. We must do this in the name of
I would say,
paranormal
yeah.
science.
Well, you got the ability to get such a commanding presence.
You hear that, tickler? You hear that?
The
Go
tickler.
ahead, tickle away. Go for the balls, baby.
I didn't say to provoke.
All right. At this point, Beckett,
I think I should sleep over.
I mean, Denny, you hear thoughts of
Really?
You hear thoughts of a Guardian, Tickler, Sleepover with Beckett.
Everything falls into the category of intriguing.
Well, with that said, let's get into some Ask Vicky. Let's just keep it going. Ask Vicky. Vicky, like I said before, our paranormal investigator, our psychic medium. Here's the first one from Dave. My ex-girlfriend put a curse on me. Since then, my life has fallen apart. She tells me that she's the only one that can take the curse off me. Is this true when it comes to curses? I just want my life back. Dave.
I personally do not believe, per se, in curses. It's power of suggestion. And if nothing else, it's the person who claims to have put the curse on you, sending you all that negative energy. Now, negative will attract negative, so there will be a byproduct of someone constantly thinking about you in a negative manner. But, I mean, no offense to the cultures that totally believe in curses. I personally think a lot of it is just power of suggestion. So he's fine.
So you think if someone says, I put a curse on you, Beckett, Beckett starts to all of a sudden, I just stepped in a puddle. Oh, I just got a ticket. Yeah. It starts becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, so to speak.
Yeah, and what happens, think about sometimes when you wake up and you have a bad day, right? So one thing happens, you kind of blow it off. The next thing, the third thing, by the time you get to the fourth event, you have convinced yourself that your day is screwed.
Yes.
Like you are bringing that energy on yourself. And I used to tell students all the time, they'd come in, they'd maybe get in trouble in the first hour of class, and I'd always say, it's in your power whether you turn this into a good day. And as long as they changed their mindset, it was a good day.
What are your thoughts on that, Beckett?
Changing your mindset for a good day?
Yeah, you the first thing you do, you step in dog shit, right? When you get out of bed. Then
You don't even own a dog.
You don't even own a dog.
Like, how the heck did this
How
happen?
the heck did this happen? Clearly you have a guardian or a tickler.
So I think part of it, this might resonate with you, is that I'm somewhat superstitious, even though I'm like a skeptic, right? That's a baseball thing. So I'm kind of like, I also believe things happen in threes. So when the second thing happens, I'm like, all right, one more bad thing needs to happen because I need to get that 3 out of my system. But I understand like self-fulfilling prophecy. Like,
So if you're on 2 bad things and you're waiting for that third bad thing to happen and you're just sick of waiting for it, you just kind of punch yourself in the face and go, all right, that third bad thing happened.
Or just accept something lame as that third thing.
I just know it's gonna happen. And I wish there was a way to accelerate it. I just kind of wait for it, but I wish
but you're putting it out there. You're basically what you think about, you bring about. So that third thing maybe wouldn't have happened if you just dropped it.
I tend to agree with Vicky on this. I think a lot of times what you put in your mind, your thoughts become your actions.
I think it's all mindset.
Yeah, Beckett. No offense, dog, but you're late and you're wrong.
That's fair.
You missed the teddy bear segment earlier.
Yeah, real quick, did you ever have a teddy bear as a kid?
Teddy Ruxpin.
Did you hold it at night?
Yeah. I still sleep with the pillow I was born with.
You still sleep with the pillow? Look, I love it. I respect it. I do not respect Teddy Ruxpin.
What?
Holy shit.
You gave me Teddy Ruxpin.
I know, because it's creepy as fuck. That thing is horrifying.
If an eye sticks, it does look pretty
So I
creepy.
started dating again, and the Teddy Ruxpin Jaybird gave me has been freaking girls out.
Well, it's horrifying.
You gotta.
I think it's a great filter. Like, that was the part of my childhood.
Oh yeah, I used to have the Ruxpin as well.
I had the Ruxpin. I had the Caterpillar.
I respect the Teddy Ruxpin because it's so horrifying. I love creepy shit, but that thing's a creepy doll.
Pretty much all old 80s animatronics.
Yeah.
We are. All right, back to Ask Vicky. I took my mother's ashes and replaced them with cat litter 10 years ago. I took her ashes and then threw them out in the ocean. That's what my mom wanted. My brother and sisters did not want to honor her wish, so I did it for her. Now I'm feeling guilty. Should I tell my brother and sisters what I did, or let them believe the ashes, or let them believe that the cat litter's ashes?
Ooh, that's a good question.
She did what her mother wanted.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. You know, if the other siblings weren't going to respect her mother's last wishes, let them talk to that cat litter until the day they're gone.
You guys agree with that?
Yeah, it is her wishes. I
I-
mean, your siblings would be annoyed about it, but
I agree with it, but I'd probably do a half measure. I think I would put 90% of the ashes in the ocean and
They mix the other 10% with cat litter?
Yeah.
no.
That's
No.
that's
No.
terrible.
That's weird?
You can't
I
mix
don't. I
it.
wouldn't want. Would you want to be scattered
No.
here, there, and everywhere? I'm not
Yeah.
even the kind that likes people to take ashes and put them in a necklace, and like 10 people have. I mean, you were a whole person when you were here, and I think your remains need to be.
Wow.
Hold up.
Wow.
You know.
Oh, over 3, Beckett.
Well, I guess if you save 10%.
Things happen in threes. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
He's back. I'm with Vicky. I think 10% human and 90% cat litter is a recipe of a cat-human ghost.
You,
A hybrid.
I just think that then you're appeasing your mom and her wishes, but then if you see your family members around the urn, still
What if
part
you-
of that in there.
what if you sprinkled 50%, right? Then you put the other 50% in a bag and put it at the bottom of the urn, and then put cat litter on top of that.
That's what I'm saying.
But in a bag, that way
It sounds
it
reasonable.
looks full in case they ever have to inspect it.
No, because there's 50%.
But then you
She
take
only-
the bag out, and
Boy.
it's in the bag still.
I think
so-
Denny's is going with the urn is half full mentality. I
No,
like it.
Denny's going.
I've always been a half full urn guy.
You can tell Denny's has dealt in drugs before. Take the bag, hide it underneath the cat litter.
You're right.
Just roll it up and hide it.
The fuzz will never find it, man.
My natural instinct to roll things and hide them.
Wow. All right, chat room, let us know. Would you eventually tell your siblings? Because they're talking to mom, but they're really talking to cat litter. I hear you. I hear you, Vicky. You're rolling your eyes.
Yeah, I mean it's the mom that's important in this.
But what if we find out? Because a lot of times you only get one side of these stories. Someone sends in an email. What if we really looked into the whole situation and that really wasn't her mom's last wishes? She decided just to do that on her own.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, that changes.
It
yeah, that
changes,
changes
right?
the scenario.
All right. I just want to see where you guys are at.
So I have my, for the record, I have my dog's ashes. I don't know what to do with them. I'm not gonna. My dog, is a big thing. So that was just one of those things. Like when my dogs passed away, I got the ashes. Rainbow Bridge, whole deal. But